Hello guys, this is my third time trying to record this, so I hope I don't have to stop because it's so aggravating. But this is my 11th podcast episode, and today is August 11th. Your eyes are a little crooked, so I'm just going to get right into everything because I don't know how much storage I have, and I have a lot to talk about. So, finished objects. I have four. I have two with the ends woven in and two with the ends not woven in. So first we have this yellow shark. He's cute. Oh, I just threw him. And then I have this little shark keychain. He's so little. Not the needle. This is a knitting. The yarn I used is my leftover Hawthorne kettle dye, in slate. So it's very small. It's fingering weight. This is the hook I'm using. I don't know the size or anything because this is a vintage hook that my aunt and uncle gave me, and it was my aunt's grandparents. So, I mean, it says on here that it was like 15 cents for a hook. Like, they're like a lot of money now, but so yes, they're very tiny. I have another one that doesn't have its ends woven in. Oh, he does not have his ends woven in yet. I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe selling these for pretty cheap just because they only take me like an hour, and something I'll do where like I'm watching a movie or watching Netflix and I just want to do something with my hands. And then the last one is I have a little pink velvet shark that also does not have ends woven in because ew. Now onto my whips. My needles hooked on my tripod. Okay. I have both of the socks from last time still. This one, which is using Knit Picks Eco Superwash, just their alpaca base in the bear color. This is done with the gusset decreases, so now I'm just on the toe. And then this one, which is using a Cascade Yarns Heritage base. I forget which number it is, but it doesn't actually look like this. It's a lot darker in person. I have 4 more decrease rounds left. Well, technically 8 more rounds because they're in sets of 2. But, so, but I haven't been working on them the past few days because there were 2 days where I just really did not feel like doing it, and that's when I was like kind of doing the sharks, and I was not feeling too good, like physically, like my body was just not having a fun time, and so I just kind of took it easy and didn't exhaust myself knitting. And then, if you guys were here last week, you heard me talking about how I'm going to knit the flax pullover by Tin Can Knits. This is what I have so far. This is a little bit less than 2 days work. I cast this on Monday at like 5 p.m. and this is what I have so far. I'm very proud of myself. Obviously I'm doing the collar ribbing last just because my needles for the yoke and body came in first and I did not want to wait any longer, although my needles for the collar are coming in today. I have 2 out of the 4 needles I need. I have the 32-inch circulars in US size 6 and 8, which are 4 and 5 millimeters. And I need the 16 of both of them, and I'm using the Chowgu red lace ones. And so I'm going to order the 16-inch ones soon. I don't quite know when. Most likely today, just out of fear that they're not going to get here in time. And I mean, I'm going pretty fast with this, I would like to say. But this is my first time doing the raglan increases. They were a little confusing at first, but after like 2 or 3 rounds, I was like able to do it pretty fluidly and like mindlessly. And now I'm on to just straight mindless knitting, which I love so much. I can just like watch my shows, and like I don't have to watch reruns or like shows I've watched before, because I don't have to like focus on this. I mean, I do to an extent, but I don't have to have most of my attention on this. And then there's also the garter stitch panel on both sides of the sleeves, which I didn't think I would like, but I do. I really like the different texture it gives. I would put this on, but the yarn, the waist yarn I used, I tied into a knot, and the yarn is smaller than the actual length of the actual circumference of the sleeves, so I can't. And yes, I tied them into bows. I meant to just do knots, but then I kind of went on autopilot and made them bows, so now they are in bows. But the body, I have to kind of stray away from the pattern, not too much, but a little bit. So let me pull the pattern in my binder with my insane amount of highlighters and my pen. I swear all of these have a purpose, and I'm also addicted to pens, so I need a reason to validate buying so many. But there are two lengths, you know what I mean, for the sweater. There's the regular length and then the cropped length. So I'm knitting the small medium size based off of my bust measurement. I have a bust that's a little bit under 35 inches, and this has a bust of, well, I mean, it's not technically a bust, but it's like a circumference, so it's essentially a bust of 35. So I have a little bit of positive ease, plus if I'm going to block it, which I don't know because I don't have blocking math, although I might, I don't know. If I need to block it to make it fit, I can. This has a length of, the regular length has, the regular like length is 16 inches including the ribbing, and then the cropped length is 11 including the ribbing. And whenever I like make sweaters or like tops for myself, I like them to be about 14 inches from like shoulder down, which ends at about my belly button. No, maybe like halfway through my belly button, and most of my pants do go to or a little bit above my belly button, and so it's just what I find most comfortable. And so with this pattern, you knit to 1.5 inches before you knit 1.5 inches less of what you want your actual length to be, so then you have enough for the ribbing. And so if I want it to be 14 inches, I need to knit it to be 12.5 inches, and I'm at like 7 something, I think. Let's measure. Let's have a fun little measuring time. Oh, that's falling. Okay. So, I don't know if I said this, but this is using Knit Picks. Ooh, dropping stitches almost. This is using Knit Picks Brava 500 in mint, which is 100% acrylic. I've made garments with acrylic before, and so I personally don't mind how it feels. But I also gave myself a time frame of until like October to finish this. But since I've done all of this in 2 days, actually less than 2 days, I think, knowing me, I'll probably finish this before school starts. But okay, so we're at 7.5 inches right now. So I'm more than halfway done. But again, knowing me, I'll probably finish this before school starts on the 25th. But I'm still giving myself a lot of time, just in case I do get into a slump about it, which has happened before with my knitting projects, like it happened with the socks. But I know the second I cast this off, I'm gonna cast it on again. I might use the same yarn, but in a different color. Might use different yarn. I don't know. I haven't decided, especially given that this is my first time. I'm going to definitely wait until I'm done with it before I order the yarn, just so I know about how much yarn I need to use for my size. Because that ball has 1,090 grams. No, not grams, yards. It's 500 grams. And the pattern calls for 1,000 yards for the regular length and 750 for the cropped. And I'm in between with where I like my things, so I'll probably be like 900. But just so I can get a feel of approximately how much, because that's like a whole other Hank skein thing of yarn. And if I can buy less, I would, because I don't love spending my money. I just fall in love with things and then I buy them. So yeah, the only other acquisition I got were these needles, and then the needles that are coming today. And then eventually, well, before the next episode, I will have bought the 16-inch circulars for both sizes. And I think that's all, because I don't think I've bought anything else knitting, crochet related, although I do have a bit of a wish list for yarns. And see, I color code everything, so hence the giant amount of, when I say everything, I mean here. Let me go to where all of my sock information is. Everything is color coded. Just because I'm that person. Before a shirt pattern. Yeah. So, there's a few yarns I want, but they're all sock yarns. And then Knit Picks Tough Puff. Just because maybe I want to knit like a chunky vest or something, but that's iffy. But I need to get some, what's it called? I kind of want to get some more worsted weight yarn so I can knit more sweaters. But most of them are sock yarns, and they're most likely all blue, knowing me. I also do love Suarella Yarns Taylor Swift collection. I just am not going to allow myself to buy any because I have enough sock yarn in here as it is. And I need to work through all of what I have before I buy more sock yarn. So it's going to be a little while before I buy sock yarn unless I go through, ooh, sorry about that, ripping the sticker off of my binder. Storage is low. Okay, I'm almost done. But I'm going to try to work through at least finishing these socks. This is, ooh, yarn. This is the second sock, and this is the first sock. So I'm definitely going to do this and then finish at least one other one, which I think will be this blue one that I'll finish, that I'll do next, and then a green after that with the purples. I want to at least get those two done before I allow myself to buy more yarn. But my phone is yelling at me that my storage is running low, so I'm going to say goodbye. Please like and comment and subscribe and all of that stuff. If you want to keep up with me, my Instagram will be linked down below, as well as my Etsy and the Crazy Sock Ladies Etsy, because that's where I got my pattern. I'm using her vanilla sock pattern, and where you can get the yarn I'm using for the Tin Can Knit sweater and also the Tin Can Knits pattern, since it is a free pattern for you guys to all download and make with me. So yes, I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.